Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Azren, the language nerd here. I hope you're having a nice day. I'm the owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's video. I will share my screen as always. Now, today is the third of four installments on this guide to pronouncing the French R like a pro. It is my belief that if you watch all three videos, you complete the practice exercises between videos, you practice the words 15 minutes a day. I think if you do that for 30 days, you will significantly improve your ability to pronounce the French R, which is something to be incredibly proud of, I think, no? And it's a relief for many people because you think, oh, finally, I can at least sort of pronounce the R. I don't think it'll be perfect after a month, but boy, you can make some real progress. Now, over the past three lessons, or rather two lessons, I'm sorry, this is what I've covered so far. I covered the voiceless R and we did some voiceless R practice. In lesson 2, I did the voiced R and voiced R practice because French does have multiple R's. It's not just one R sound. Today, I will talk about the soft R. There might be a more technical term for it. I actually don't know. And lesson 4 will not be on YouTube. It's going to be a live practice that we do together on Zoom. If you would like to sign up for that, the link is in the YouTube video description box below. Okay. Without further ado, oh, there's this too, yes. As a reminder, oh, there goes the phone. As a reminder, there's a PDF document called Take Your Tongue to the Gym, French R Practice. It's a PDF document with audios and practice exercises for you to do for 30 days to improve your ability to pronounce the French R. The link for that is also in the video description box below. It looks something like this in case you haven't seen it. So it's broken up into 30 days. There are different practice exercises to do on each day. I like the colors that I picked on this. I'm getting better at picking colors that look good together. I'm getting better at that. It's not a natural skill set, but I'm starting to learn. There's a practice word list that accompanies that first page you were just looking at. I will provide some MP3 audios as well, so you can hear me say all the words on the practice word list. So that'll be great as well, I think. Now, the soft R, this is tricky. The other two R's that I've covered off are a little bit easier to explain, and they're a little bit easier to pronounce. I mean, they're not easy per se, but they're easier than what I want to talk about today because the soft R requires a level of muscular control of your tongue that is difficult to do. This one takes time. I struggled with this one for at least a number of months, at least months and months of actual daily practice before I finally was able to do it. And even then, I remember I would mess it up sometimes. I would try to say a word that would have this soft R and I wouldn't quite get it right. And I would feel a little bit embarrassed, but it's a tough one. I pre-warn you. Let's go nice and slow. So words that have a vowel plus an R, so a vowel R, and then it's followed by a voiced letter. Okay, so voiced, let's go back some slides here so I can just recap what a voice sound is. So voice sounds, they're ones where the vocal cords vibrate. Voiceless are the ones where the vocal cords do not vibrate. Okay, go watch the other two videos if you're not sure. I explained in the other videos prior to this one what that means. The links will be in the description box below. Those will often, not always, but they will often have a softer R. Now, when you're actually talking in French, it's way too difficult to think, oh, is that a voiced sound coming up? Is it going to be this R or that R? It's way too difficult. So really the thing to be aware of is that sometimes R's are not very strong in French and they're a lot softer. And you just have to be aware of that. At a minimum, be aware of that. And as you practice French with different people, as you hear French more often, you start to notice it more often, you will start to understand, oh, that's the kind of word where it's a softer R. So let me give you some examples. I want to start with this word here, regarder. Okay, let's focus. Let me get a pen so I can write on my screen here. Where's the Zoom pen? Here it is. Okay, I want to focus on this here. this ARD combination. A is a is a vowel. We have an R, which is your R, and D is a voiced sound. So a vowel, an R, and a D, which is a voiced sound. And in many of these kinds of situations, that R is going to now become very soft. So it is not pronounced regarder. It's not regarder. It's not a r, right? It's not regarder. It's just that just sounds ugly. It doesn't sound quite right. It's really soft. Listen carefully. I'll even just get rid of this re part for now. Let's just get rid of that. Let's make it garder, because that is a French word. So garder, 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 garder. Notice it's not garder. I mean, you could do that, I suppose. And some people may do that, of course. But often when people are talking, you're not going to hear garder with a strong R. It'll be very soft. Garder, 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 garder. It's voiced, okay? Let's look at this next one here. Let's get rid of this re for the time being, just to simplify it. This is tourner, 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 tourner. Try saying it with me too. Tourner. It's like tourner, tourner, something like that. Tourner, but that re is really soft. Tourner, tourner. This one here, la farine, la farine, la farine, not farine, not farine. And you could go farine with that, you could, but it's not common, let's just say. And it might happen sometimes, but very frequently you're going to have a soft one. So farine, Marie, dernière, internationale, l'érable, l'érable. This can also happen with some voiced R's at the very end of a word. So if this happens, it is often because if this happens, it will often be because the following word starts with a voice sound. It's getting very technical, but I'll give you some examples. I want to start with the word finir. This one here, finir. I want to start with that one. Because if I just say finir, if I just say that, I could say something like, I could maybe get away with having a stronger R at the end. Finir, finir. I could make a ch at the end, like a D voice or a voiceless R. Finir. I could do that and get away with it. But the moment we stick something after, especially if it's a voice sound, so like, for example, or even, let's go lire, actually. Lire. So read a book. Lire un livre. So I'm going to say it as slowly as I can, so you can hear it. We're going to say lire un livre. Lire un livre. Lire un livre. They're reasonably soft, these R's. Now, if I just say lire, I could pronounce the R a bit harder. Lire. Lire. And it's acceptable. But the moment you stick a voice sound after, it tends to be softer to talk a bit faster. I think that's why they do it. Okay, let me pronounce some of these words for you here. L'heure, l'heure, d'ailleurs, d'ailleurs, une mûre, finir. Now this could also be finir. I could pronounce it stronger. Choisir, pur, pur. So again, a lot of these R's are a lot softer. Whereas in the previous videos, the R's we looked at were actually pronounced quite, like they're strong R's. Grand, croix, croissant, dragon, dra, vendre. Like these r, right? Or you really hear them. Whereas in these kinds of words, there are lots of words in French where they're not quite that strong. Now, there's one more thing we have to practice, but I was thinking about it before this video. I think it's better if we practice the following together and not so much in a recorded format. So as you know, there's a live lesson that I would like to do with everybody over Zoom in a group format. And I think in that class, I'd like to do some practice with with words and phrases that have multiple R's, not just one R. So if we look at words such as regarder, that is Re, one R. Gare, two R's. There's two R's in there, right? Retourner, two R's again. There's double R's in here. Dernière, two words, two R's again. I'd like to do that with you guys live. So in the video description box below, there's a link to sign up for a live class. Yes, for a live Zoom class. It is free. It is free to do so. If you're watching this after the live class has actually taken place, I'll put another link as well in case you want to contact me and you want to do a practice session with myself or a Calgary Language Nerds tutor. And I can maybe set something up with you. That one would not be free because it's one-on-one and it takes people more time and things like that. But I can at least give you an affordable or a reasonable rate or something. So there's an option for that too. As a final reminder, there's the Take Your Tongue to the Gym French R Practice, the PDF document with audios, accompanying audios. If in case you want to practice more at home, there's a link for that in the video description box too. Let me stop my screen share. And that wraps up, well, almost wraps up. That is the third video, the third lesson here on the French R. If you go through all three of these videos, you do the practice exercises, you do the Take Your Tongue to the Gym, you practice every day. Within a 30-day, you come to the live class, within a 30-day window, you will have a much better grasp on that French R than you did before. So I think it'll help a lot of you. So have a great rest of your day and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.